And the secret to getting a mirror-like finish on your paint job, well, it doesn't start here. You don't have to be a highly skilled painter to get a great do-it-yourself paint job at home, but you do have to know where to start. A beautiful paint job, whether it's done professionally or at home, starts by using one of these, and then adding in a little bit of this. Let me explain what I mean. Let me give you a visual on a test panel that I did. Now, I prepped the surface flat and smooth, then I applied a black base, then I applied clear coat, and because the surface is so flat and smooth, that allows the clear coat to be highly reflective. Now, that is what you want your project's paint job to look like. And you're not going to get a beautiful paint job unless the surface of your project has been prepped flat and smooth. Let me show you how to do that. We're going to start with the least expensive surface prep tools. Now, this paint stick, it came from Home Depot. These two came from my local paint supply store. And the best thing about these three, they were all free. Moving on to the next set of surface prep tools, we have the DuraBlock. Now, DuraBlock is the brand name. These are really inexpensive. This is an EVA closed cell foam, and that allows it to be semi-rigid or very pliable depending on the shape and the width of the block. You choose the block based on the profile of the panel you're going to be sanding. Now, if we were going to use this block on a rounded fender, bad choice. This block, very pliable. It'll conform to the panel, and now we can get an even sand. That's going to let us find any imperfections in the panel. If it's waves or ripples, using the correct tool, we'll be able to sand evenly this entire panel flat. That's going to give us a very smooth finish. And let me show you our last two surface prep tools. Now, this is a rigid file. If you're doing a long flat panel like a hood, something that is not rounded, this is a great choice. This little tool, this is one of my favorites. Let me show you what it'll do. This will conform to any or almost any shape. And you always want to do your finish blocking with 320 grit sandpaper. Use a heavier grit, you risk putting gouges or scratches in your finish. And there's a couple of techniques that you can use when you're sanding a surface and you want to get a flat, smooth finish. Method one, now after you sand, you can use your hand to feel for imperfections, high and low spots. Well, that's a little difficult if you don't have a lot of experience. Method two will make your life very easy. Now, before we start sanding our surface, we apply a thin guide coat. And using a guide coat on top of the primer will make it easy to spot those imperfections, waves, or ripples on the surface. Now, there are several ways to apply a guide coat. You can over-reduce some black with lacquer thinner, thin it down, apply it with a paint gun. A nice, even coat. You can apply a guide coat with a black lacquer aerosol, or my favorite way of guide coating, which is less expensive, faster and easier, use one of these. So instead of getting overspray everywhere with our guide coat, we can apply a dry guide coat. It's that fast and easy. And the least expensive way to apply guide coat, lead carpenter pencil. You're just drawing a grid pattern with your lead. Then you can come back and do this. All of the tools and supplies that I used in this video, they are available in the online store, GUZZIfabrication.store. The link is in the description. One more trick for you. If you're doing body work with the body filler, you're shaping it, you can apply the dry guide coat or the pencil trick, and it will give you a visual and really help you flatten out and shape the body filler before you prime. So we're putting our dry guide coat on. Choosing the block that will conform to the shape we're sanding. Using 320, applying even pressure, we start sanding. We don't want to turn the sandpaper up on the end, or we don't want to use the sandpaper like this. Keep it on the block, even pressure. Once in a while we want to stop because there will be a buildup of residue from the primer and the guide coat. We need to get that off. Wipe the surface. And the purpose of the guide coat, what we're looking for. If you see any guide coat, any black, that's going to be an imperfection, a wave, a ripple, a low spot. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want to find. When we do, we circle them. And now we can come back and address these areas with either a skim coat of filler or glaze, or re-prime our surface so we can get a smooth, flat finish. And that step is the secret to a beautiful do-it-yourself paint job at home. Hey, if you're in the market for a high quality, won't break the bank welder for your home shop, you need to check out this one from Weld. Now, we did a complete video on this welder. It's a great unit, and we are set up so that we can get you a discount from Weld. All you have to do is follow the link in the description, type in the discount code, Robert Guzzi.